Imagine standing alone in a crowded room. Everyone else seems to have allies, friends, mentors, or supporters. But you have nothing. No one believes in you. No one is cheering for you. Every move you make is under scrutiny, every mistake magnified. Most people would crumble under this pressure, looking for handouts, approval, or sympathy. But what if I told you that being alone could actually be your greatest weapon? Throughout history, the people who achieved the most were rarely those surrounded by unconditional support. In fact, some of the most powerful figures, leaders, innovators, strategists, thrived when no one backed them. They understood a simple, yet brutal truth. Support is fleeting. Respect is earned. Influence is built. And real power begins from within. This isn't about being mean or ruthless. It's about mastering yourself so thoroughly that the absence of others doesn't break you. It's about understanding human nature, the hidden dynamics of influence, and how those who rely on themselves alone often rise higher than those with armies of supporters. In this series, we're going to dive into the secrets of winning when no one supports you, inspired by Machiavelli's timeless principles of power, strategy, and human behavior. This journey will reveal the mindset and methods to turn isolation into unstoppable strength. By the end, you won't be asking for validation. You won't be waiting for permission. You'll understand how to use solitude, criticism, and doubt as fuel. Because real winners aren't made in crowds. They're made in the silence of self-mastery. The reality of isolation, when no one backs you standing alone, is a situation few people truly understand until they face it. Most of us grow up in environments where support is assumed to be available. Friends, family, mentors, and colleagues. We are conditioned to seek approval, to rely on validation from others, and to measure our worth through the eyes of society. But life rarely guarantees such support. There are moments when everyone seems to be on their own path, leaving you to navigate challenges without guidance, encouragement, or recognition. This is the stark reality of isolation, and it is in these moments that character, resilience, and true power are forged. Isolation is not merely a physical state of being alone. It is the intersection of circumstances, human behavior, and personal responsibility that leaves an individual unsupported. Unlike loneliness, which is an emotional response to the absence of connection, isolation can be a strategic and necessary stage for growth, self-discovery, and preparation for leadership. Understanding the distinction between these two states is crucial, because those who succumb to loneliness often fail to capitalize on the transformative potential that isolation offers. Society pressures us from the beginning to seek approval and validation from others. From childhood, we are taught to conform to expectations, to please authority figures, and to follow paths deemed safe or successful. Rejection is presented as failure, criticism as a threat, and being unsupported as a sign of inadequacy. These lessons embed deep psychological patterns that can weaken confidence and hinder action when external support is unavailable. However, the harsh truth, as Machiavelli pointed out centuries ago, is that relying on others is often a trap. People are driven primarily by self-interest, not loyalty. Support can be temporary, fickle, or conditional. Those who depend on validation and backing from others risk stagnation, disappointment, or betrayal. Recognizing this truth is uncomfortable but necessary. It is only when you accept that external support is neither guaranteed nor necessary for success that you can begin to cultivate the inner strength required to thrive independently. History is replete with examples of individuals who faced skepticism, criticism, and isolation, yet emerged victorious. Innovators, leaders, and visionaries often operate in spaces where no one initially believes in them. Elon Musk, for instance, has frequently endured ridicule and doubt while pursuing projects that seemed impossible. From electric cars to space travel, Nikola Tesla labored in relative obscurity, developing groundbreaking inventions without recognition during his prime. Even Machiavelli himself, in advising rulers, emphasized that relying on others' loyalty or affection is dangerous. A leader must cultivate personal power and strategic independence to survive and thrive. In these cases, isolation was not a weakness. It was a crucible that sharpened focus, determination, and clarity of purpose. By learning to operate without support, these individuals developed the resilience and resourcefulness necessary to achieve extraordinary outcomes psychologically. Handling the absence of support requires deliberate effort. Emotional resilience is not innate. It is cultivated through practice and mindset shifts. Self-reliance becomes the foundation of both personal and professional growth. This begins with reframing rejection and criticism as opportunities for insight rather than threats to self. Each no or skeptical glance from others can serve as fuel to refine strategy, strengthen discipline, and clarify goals. Practical exercises such as journaling, visualization, and independent problem-solving reinforce the ability to act decisively without seeking external validation. Over time, this mindset fosters patience, strategic thinking, and the ability to navigate complex social dynamics with confidence. Isolation, in this sense, transforms from a source of fear into a tool for empowerment. Furthermore, solitude provides the rare advantage of clarity. When no one else's opinions dominate your environment, decisions can be made with purity of purpose. Without the noise of outside influence, you are free to assess situations objectively, identify opportunities others overlook, and make choices that align with your values and long-term goals. Many individuals fail because they compromise their vision to accommodate others' expectations. Isolation eliminates this pressure, allowing for the cultivation of authenticity and strategic independence. This is a critical advantage, as people often underestimate those who operate quietly, unseen, and unassisted. History demonstrates that the most transformative figures often emerge not from crowds, but from moments of concentrated solitude and reflection. It is also important to understand that isolation does not mean being passive or disconnected from growth. On the contrary, it provides the opportunity to develop skills, knowledge, and strategic insight in preparation for moments when influence and power can be exercised effectively. Leaders who understand the realities of isolation leverage it to build expertise, discipline, and mental toughness. They learn to act decisively, anticipate opposition, and maintain focus under pressure. Isolation becomes a teacher, providing lessons in resilience, patience, and calculated action. Those who embrace it transform an initially uncomfortable state into a powerful advantage. The journey of being unsupported also strengthens emotional intelligence. When you cannot rely on others for guidance or reassurance, you develop self-awareness, reflection, and an understanding of human behavior that is often absent in those who are constantly validated by their networks. You begin to observe patterns of loyalty, manipulation, and ambition, gaining insights into what motivates people and how influence is exerted. These lessons, learned in solitude, often surpass what can be taught in conventional settings. They are the quiet, internal education that prepares an individual for leadership, strategy, and the exercise of real influence. Finally, it is essential to reframe the narrative surrounding isolation. Being unsupported is not a mark of failure. It is a natural and often necessary stage in the development of strength, strategy, and autonomy. It is in the absence of cheerleaders, allies, or mentors that an individual learns to trust themselves, take responsibility, and cultivate unwavering focus. This foundation becomes the bedrock of respect, influence, and eventual victory. By embracing isolation, understanding its lessons, and leveraging it strategically, you transform what many perceive as a disadvantage into a unique and powerful advantage. In essence, those who can thrive alone are the ones who can navigate the complexities of life with clarity, confidence, and enduring resilience. In summary, the reality of being unsupported is not comfortable, but it is instructive. It forces individuals to confront their limitations, examine their motives, and cultivate the discipline required for success. Isolation, when understood and leveraged, becomes a tool for building inner strength, clarity, and strategic advantage. The next step, which we will explore in the following section, is learning how to convert this solitude into the foundation of respect and influence, a process that begins with mastering oneself. Understanding the harsh reality of isolation is the first and most crucial step in transforming adversity into power. Building inner strength. The foundation of respect. Inner strength is the silent engine that drives influence, respect, and personal mastery, while isolation teaches you that support is not guaranteed. Inner strength ensures that the absence of support does not determine your success. It is the quality that allows individuals to stand firm amid chaos, criticism, and skepticism. Respect, contrary to popular belief, is rarely granted freely. It is earned through the demonstration of resilience, discipline, and consistent action. In other words, those who command themselves first inevitably command the attention, trust, and admiration of others. Building inner strength is not about aggression or dominance. It is about cultivating self-mastery, emotional regulation, and clarity of purpose, all of which form the bedrock of lasting respect. At the heart of inner strength lies self-discipline. Discipline is not simply a matter of following rules or routines. It is the deliberate control of impulses, emotions, and actions in pursuit of long-term objectives. People with inner strength do not allow momentary frustration, external criticism, or temporary setbacks to dictate their behavior. They recognize that their response to adversity is far more important than the adversity itself. Historical figures, from great leaders to renowned innovators, have demonstrated that the capacity to maintain focus under pressure is one of the most reliable predictors of long-term success. By developing discipline, individuals cultivate reliability, competence, and consistency, traits that naturally attract respect without the need for overt displays of power. Emotional mastery is another critical pillar of inner strength. Those who can regulate their emotions, respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, and maintain composure in challenging situations are perceived as stable, intelligent, and worthy of trust. Emotional volatility, on the other hand, invites criticism, diminishes authority, and undermines credibility. Machiavelli emphasized the importance of controlling one's temperament, arguing that a leader must appear calm and rational regardless of the chaos surrounding them. In modern life, emotional mastery translates into the ability to handle workplace stress, interpersonal conflict, and social scrutiny with poise. By mastering their emotions, individuals not only protect themselves from unnecessary harm, but also inspire confidence and respect from others, who witness their composure under pressure. Clarity of purpose is equally vital. Inner strength requires a deep understanding of one's goals, values, and principles. Without clarity, even the most disciplined and emotionally regulated person can be swayed by external influence or temporary temptations. Clarity acts as a guiding compass, ensuring that decisions align with long-term objectives rather than short-term desires or societal pressures. Those with clear purpose move through life with intention, and this intentionality is visible to others. People respect those who know where they are going and why, because it signals confidence, direction, and the ability to withstand distraction or opposition. Moreover, clarity of purpose reduces indecision and doubt, two factors that often erode self-confidence and invite criticism. The development of inner strength also involves cultivating resilience, the capacity to recover from setbacks, learn from mistakes, and continue progressing despite adversity. Resilience is not innate. It is developed through experience, reflection, and deliberate effort. Individuals who have faced rejection, failure, or isolation often emerge stronger because they have learned to adapt, persevere, and extract lessons from difficulty. Resilient individuals do not seek excuses or assign blame. They take ownership of their actions and outcomes, reinforcing the perception of competence and authority. Resilience, combined with discipline, emotional mastery, and clarity, forms a holistic framework for earning respect from both peers and adversaries. Consistency plays a critical role in building respect. People tend to trust and admire those whose actions are predictable in their quality, integrity, and alignment with stated values. Inconsistency, even if unintentional, signals unreliability and invites doubt. Inner strength manifests as the ability to act consistently, regardless of external circumstances or internal fluctuations. Consistency communicates strength because it demonstrates self-control, reliability, and a commitment to principle over convenience. Over time, this repeated demonstration of competence and integrity fosters respect that is both deep and enduring. Another dimension of inner strength involves the cultivation of strategic silence. Those who are constantly seeking validation through speech, explanation, or justification reveal insecurity. In contrast, individuals who speak deliberately when necessary and maintain composure in silence convey confidence and authority. Silence allows time for observation, reflection, and assessment, providing a strategic advantage in interactions where others may react impulsively. Machiavelli emphasized that appearing mysterious and restrained in expression can amplify influence, as people often project significance onto those who do not reveal everything about themselves. Strategic silence is thus a subtle but powerful tool for building respect. Furthermore, inner strength encompasses the ability to establish and maintain boundaries. Respect is often violated when individuals fail to assert limits on how they are treated. Those with inner strength understand that protecting their time, energy, and integrity is not selfish but essential. They communicate expectations clearly, enforce consequences consistently, and prioritize their own growth and values over appeasing others. This boundary-setting signals self-respect, which in turn compels respect from others. People instinctively recognize when someone is unwilling to compromise their principles or allow exploitation, and this recognition translates into social authority. Developing inner strength also involves cultivating knowledge and competence. Expertise in a particular domain conveys authority and earns respect organically. Whether through formal education, practical experience, or self-directed learning, mastery of skills not only increases personal effectiveness, but also enhances credibility. People respect those who demonstrate capability, insight, and a track record of success. Importantly, competence alone is insufficient without the accompanying qualities of emotional regulation, discipline, and clarity. These elements together form the complete profile of a person whose strength commands respect. In addition to these qualities, inner strength requires a commitment to authenticity. Pretending to be something one is not may temporarily attract approval, but it undermines long-term respect. People are inherently perceptive and can detect inconsistency between words and actions. Authenticity, reinforced by competence and discipline, signals integrity, reliability, and courage. Those who maintain authenticity, especially under pressure or scrutiny, demonstrate the highest form of inner strength, the ability to remain true to oneself while navigating the demands of life and the judgments of others. It is crucial to recognize that inner strength is developed progressively through deliberate practice and experience. There are no shortcuts. It begins with small actions, making disciplined choices daily, regulating emotional responses, reflecting on setbacks, and taking ownership of outcomes. Over time, these incremental practices accumulate into habits that define character, influence perception, and establish a foundation for respect. The process requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about oneself and the world. Those who commit to this process emerge not only stronger, but also positioned to exercise influence effectively in any context, regardless of the presence or absence of external support. Ultimately, power isn't given. Understanding, influence, and fear power is rarely handed out freely. It is earned, seized, and often carefully cultivated. Many people assume that influence comes from popularity, charisma, or even goodwill, but the reality is far more nuanced. Influence is the ability to shape outcomes, guide decisions, and direct attention, and it does not require the approval or love of others. In fact, relying on affection alone often limits effectiveness. As Machiavelli emphasized, power is rooted in understanding human nature, leveraging strategic advantage, and commanding respect, sometimes even through the subtle use of fear. Influence is not about dominating others violently or harshly, but about creating a presence and authority that others cannot ignore. Those who understand this principle recognize that respect, credibility, and authority are earned by demonstrating competence, self-control, and decisive action, rather than by seeking popularity or constant validation. Fear, when applied correctly, is a strategic tool, not a method of cruelty. Machiavelli famously stated that it is safer to be feared than loved, if one cannot be both, emphasizing that fear ensures compliance when affection might fail. This does not mean instilling terror or harm. Rather, it involves establishing boundaries, projecting confidence, and cultivating an aura of seriousness that commands attention. Individuals who are feared in this sense are not necessarily disliked. They are respected for their ability to act decisively and maintain standards that others recognize as non-negotiable. Fear, when combined with fairness and integrity, becomes a stabilizing force, compelling others to take one seriously while minimizing unnecessary conflict Strategic fear communicates authority without requiring overt displays of aggression, creating an invisible sphere of influence that amplifies one's power. Understanding influence also requires a deep comprehension of human behavior. People are driven by self-interest, emotions, and perceived social hierarchies. Those who succeed in wielding influence anticipate reactions, recognize motives, and act with precision to guide decisions. Influence is less about overt persuasion and more about subtle manipulation of perception, positioning, and timing. Individuals who understand these dynamics can achieve results far beyond what force, popularity, or charm alone could accomplish. The key lies in observation, patience, and strategic action, knowing when to speak, when to act, and when to wait. Influence is the ability to shape circumstances without forcing compliance, and it is earned through consistent demonstration of competence, clarity, and authority. A central aspect of strategic influence is the careful balance between respect and fear. While fear ensures compliance and seriousness, respect builds loyalty, cooperation, and long-term support. Successful individuals integrate both. They command attention through competence and decisiveness, while cultivating credibility and trust. Those who neglect this balance often fall into two extremes: the tyrant, who may be feared but lacks genuine respect, or the pleaser, who is liked but not taken seriously. Mastery of influence requires cultivating both dimensions simultaneously, ensuring that actions are guided by principle rather than emotion, and that authority is recognized without provoking resentment or hostility. Influence also stems from reputation. Individuals who consistently demonstrate competence, integrity, and decisive action develop a reputation that precedes them. Reputation acts as a multiplier of influence, allowing actions to resonate beyond immediate interactions. People trust and defer to those whose track record demonstrates reliability, even if direct supervision or oversight is absent. This principle is particularly evident in leadership and strategic decision-making, when others recognize that an individual consistently achieves results. They are more likely to follow guidance, heed advice, or comply with directives. Reputation amplifies power, extending influence across networks, organizations, and communities. Another critical factor in wielding influence is the strategic control of information. Those who understand power recognize that what is revealed and what is withheld shapes perception. Sharing too much diminishes authority. Revealing too little can create mystery, curiosity, and respect. Strategic communication involves selecting words carefully, presenting ideas clearly, and avoiding unnecessary explanation. Silence, again, becomes a powerful tool. By speaking less, one allows others to project meaning onto actions, increasing perceived competence and authority. Machiavelli emphasized the value of appearing decisive and competent, even if the full scope of one's plans is not revealed. In this way, perception becomes a critical component of influence, amplifying power without requiring overt confrontation or force. Control over perception also extends to demeanor and presence. Individuals who project confidence, composure, and calm authority influence others through subtle cues, body language, tone of voice, and decision-making speed. Presence alone can command attention and respect, particularly when combined with demonstrated competence and strategic action. People instinctively follow those who exude confidence because confidence signals understanding, capability, and vision. This psychological dynamic underscores the importance of self-mastery. Those who control themselves effectively can control the perceptions and actions of others, creating influence that is both subtle and profound. Power also requires the ability to leverage networks and alliances strategically. While influence can be exerted independently, strategic relationships multiply impact. Alliances should not be sought for validation or friendship alone, but for mutual benefit, resources, or positional advantage. The ability to identify valuable connections, nurture them, and leverage them when necessary is a hallmark of effective influence. Machiavelli highlighted that leaders must be both strategic and discerning in their associations, aligning themselves with those whose actions enhance authority and outcomes, while minimizing exposure to betrayal or weakness. Equally important is the capacity for calculated risk. Influence and power rarely grow in comfort zones. Those who achieve significant impact understand when to act decisively, when to challenge norms, and when to assert authority. Calculated risk involves analyzing potential outcomes, assessing variables, and making informed decisions with confidence. Fear of failure or fear of criticism often paralyzes those who lack inner strength. But individuals who embrace strategic risk gain opportunities for influence, authority, and achievement. Courage, informed by wisdom and strategy, amplifies power by demonstrating decisiveness and competence in situations where others hesitate. Finally, the exercise of influence and strategic fear requires ethical discernment. Machiavelli's principles are often misunderstood as advocating cruelty, manipulation, or deceit without restraint. In reality, the most sustainable and effective power balances assertiveness with fairness, strategy with principle, and influence with integrity. Those who wield power recklessly may achieve short-term gains, but risk long-term collapse. Ethical discernment ensures that influence endures, respect is maintained, and authority remains legitimate. Power is most effective when it is rooted in a combination of competence, strategy, perception, management, and moral prudence. In summary, power is not a gift. It is a product of strategy, perception, competence, and inner strength. Influence is earned, not demanded, and fear, when applied strategically, reinforces authority without diminishing respect. Those who understand human nature leverage reputation, control perception, project presence, form strategic alliances, and take calculated risks, achieve influence that is sustainable, ethical, and effective. By mastering these principles, individuals convert the respect and inner strength cultivated in previous stages into tangible power, capable of shaping circumstances, guiding decisions, and commanding authority in any context. Understanding how influence and fear operate is the bridge between inner mastery and practical power, preparing individuals to act decisively, lead effectively, and navigate a world where support is never guaranteed. Turning doubters into allies, strategic reframing. Criticism, doubt, and opposition are inevitable in any pursuit of significance or success. No matter how competent, disciplined, or capable you are, there will always be those who question your decisions, underestimate your potential, or outright oppose your goals. For most people, these encounters provoke frustration, defensiveness, or despair. However, strategic reframing transforms these challenges into opportunities. Turning doubters into allies is not about manipulation or deceit. It is about understanding psychology, human behavior, and perception to convert resistance into momentum. This approach recognizes that opposition, when managed wisely, can become a catalyst for growth, influence, and credibility. The first step in strategic reframing is to shift your mindset about criticism. Most people perceive doubt as a threat to self-worth or progress, but in reality, it is a reflection of others' perspectives, fears, and limitations. Doubters often respond from their own insecurities, societal conditioning, or lack of understanding. By reframing criticism as feedback rather than judgment, you extract value from opposition without internalizing negativity. This mindset enables clarity. Instead of reacting emotionally, you assess the validity of the concern, identify actionable insights, and disregard irrelevant negativity. Over time, this reframing cultivates resilience, mental sharpness, and a focus on long-term objectives rather than momentary discomfort. Another critical aspect of turning doubt into advantage involves observing and understanding the motivations behind skepticism. People rarely oppose without reason. Some may feel threatened by your potential, while others may resist change due to comfort with the status quo. By identifying underlying motivations, you can tailor your responses strategically. For example, skeptics driven by fear or insecurity can be reassured or guided gently toward collaboration, while those motivated by ambition may become valuable allies if offered recognition or mutual benefit. Strategic awareness transforms potential obstacles into predictable patterns, allowing for precise action rather than reactive emotion. Communication plays a central role in reframing opposition. Those who excel in influence understand that how ideas are presented can shift perception dramatically. Even staunch critics can be persuaded when arguments are structured logically, benefits are highlighted, and personal interests are acknowledged. Strategic framing involves presenting your vision, not as a threat, but as an opportunity that aligns with the values or goals of others. This approach requires patience, empathy, and careful messaging, ensuring that your intentions are understood and resistance is minimized. Over time, effective communication can convert initial opposition into cautious support, collaboration, or at the very least, neutrality. Demonstrating competence is also a powerful tool for neutralizing doubt. Critics often challenge not out of malice, but out of uncertainty regarding your ability to succeed. By consistently delivering results, maintaining discipline, and demonstrating expertise, you reduce the credibility of opposition. Actions, as the saying goes, speak louder than words. When people witness tangible results, skepticism diminishes naturally. The combination of competence, consistency, and strategic communication reinforces credibility, allowing initial doubters to reconsider their position and potentially become advocates. Patience is another essential element in this process. Transforming opposition into collaboration is rarely instantaneous. Many attempts at persuasion fail when individuals seek immediate validation or react impulsively to criticism. Strategic reframing requires a long-term perspective, recognizing that perceptions shift gradually through repeated demonstration of reliability, skill, and vision. By maintaining composure and acting consistently over time, you gradually reshape the narrative surrounding your actions, turning initial doubt into cautious admiration or support. Patience, when combined with discipline and strategic insight, becomes a multiplier of influence, allowing you to cultivate allies where none initially existed. In addition to patience and competence, the ability to leverage empathy strengthens the reframing process. Understanding the emotional and psychological state of doubters allows you to address concerns without confrontation. Empathy does not. mean agreement. It means recognizing fears, priorities, and perspectives to engage more effectively. By demonstrating awareness and consideration of others' concerns, you establish credibility and open avenues for collaboration. Strategic empathy creates trust, even among skeptics, and signals that you are not only competent, but also socially intelligent, a combination that naturally fosters respect and influence. Strategic reframing also involves redefining failures and setbacks. Doubters often amplify criticism during moments of difficulty, interpreting challenges as proof of incompetence. By reframing setbacks as learning opportunities, calculated risks, or inevitable stages of growth, you change the narrative in your favor. Instead of allowing criticism to undermine confidence, you use it to highlight resilience, adaptability, and strategic thinking. This approach not only strengthens your own mindset, but also influences perception as observers witness your ability to navigate adversity with composure and intelligence. In effect, challenges become opportunities to convert skeptics into supporters or neutralize negativity. Another subtle but powerful tactic involves selective engagement. Not every doubter deserves attention or influence. Strategic reframing requires discernment, recognizing which opposition is worth addressing and which should be ignored. Engaging every critic wastes energy, dilutes focus, and can escalate conflict unnecessarily. By prioritizing engagement with those whose support could yield tangible benefits, you concentrate efforts where influence is most impactful. This approach ensures that time, energy, and resources are allocated efficiently, maximizing the potential to turn opposition into collaboration without being distracted by irrelevant criticism. Mentorship and demonstration can also play a role in converting skeptics. By sharing knowledge, guiding others subtly, or modeling desired behavior. Practical steps. Winning without support in real life. Knowing the theory behind isolation, inner strength, influence, and strategic reframing is essential, but knowledge alone does not create results. True power emerges when these principles are applied consistently in the real world. Winning without support is not about shortcuts or luck. It is about deliberate action, disciplined habits, and strategic thinking. It requires turning solitude, doubt, and opposition into fuel for growth, decision-making, and long-term achievement. In this section, we will explore actionable steps that translate the lessons of the previous sections into practical strategies for success in careers, relationships, personal projects, and broader life challenges. The first practical step is cultivating self-discipline through structured routines. Winning without support demands that you rely on yourself for motivation and consistency. This begins with clearly defining daily habits that align with long-term goals. Whether it is dedicating time to skill development, maintaining physical health, or managing financial responsibilities, structured routines ensure progress even in the absence of external accountability. People often fail because they wait for motivation or encouragement from others. By creating self-imposed systems, you remove dependence on external support and reinforce personal reliability. Discipline in daily life compounds over time, creating momentum that fuels achievement and builds credibility in the eyes of observers. Next is setting clear priorities and goals. Clarity is a cornerstone of independence and self-reliance. Without clear priorities, effort is scattered, decisions become reactive, and energy is wasted on inconsequential matters. Start by identifying what truly matters: career advancement, personal mastery, financial independence, or relationships, and break these objectives into actionable steps. Written plans, timelines, and benchmarks help maintain focus and measure progress. Clarity allows you to act decisively, minimizing hesitation caused by external opinions or the fear of judgment. It also reinforces confidence, which is essential for projecting authority and maintaining influence, even when no one is supporting or validating your path. Another essential step is developing emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. Without support, you must cultivate the ability to recover quickly, learn from failures, and continue progressing without external encouragement. Emotional resilience involves recognizing that challenges are not personal attacks, but natural components of growth. Techniques such as mindfulness, reflection, journaling, and cognitive reframing are effective tools for managing emotional responses. By controlling emotional reactions, you maintain composure in stressful situations, make rational decisions, and project confidence, qualities that reinforce both self-respect and the respect of others. Leveraging knowledge and skill building is another practical strategy. Competence is a universal language that commands respect and opens doors even in the absence of allies. Identify areas relevant to your goals, technical skills, strategic thinking, communication, leadership, and invest in mastery through formal learning, practice, and real-world application. Expertise builds credibility, reduces reliance on others for guidance, and creates opportunities that might otherwise be inaccessible. Competence also strengthens self-confidence, allowing you to operate independently and make informed decisions without waiting for validation or instruction from others. Networking strategically, not emotionally, is a critical step. While support is not guaranteed, the ability to build selective, mutually beneficial relationships can amplify influence and create opportunities. Focus on quality rather than quantity. Align with individuals who share your goals, values, or complementary skills. Approach networking strategically by offering value first, demonstrating competence, and maintaining authenticity. These connections, even if limited, serve as leverage points for collaboration, guidance, or resources without creating dependency. Strategic networking ensures that you remain independent, yet positioned to capitalize on opportunities that require coordination with others. Another key step is mastering strategic communication. Effective communication amplifies influence, clarifies intentions, and mitigates misunderstandings, especially when operating without support. This involves listening actively, framing ideas persuasively, and presenting arguments clearly and confidently. Avoid over-explaining or seeking approval through constant justification. Instead, focus on demonstrating competence and decisiveness through concise, intentional communication. Strategic communication allows you to maintain authority, project confidence, and influence outcomes even in challenging social or professional environments. Maintaining physical and mental health is an often overlooked component of independence. Winning without support requires endurance, energy, and mental clarity, all of which are undermined by neglecting well-being. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, sufficient rest, and stress management techniques are essential for sustaining high performance. Physical and mental health also reinforce confidence and presence, which are critical for commanding respect and influence. In essence, taking care of your body and mind ensures that you can operate at peak capacity regardless of external circumstances. Practicing calculated risk-taking is another practical principle. Progress rarely occurs in comfort zones, and those who rely solely on safety and predictability are often left behind. Evaluate risks methodically by assessing potential outcomes, resources, and contingencies, and then act decisively. Calculated risks create opportunities for advancement, demonstrate courage, and signal strategic intelligence. Even when outcomes are uncertain, the ability to act decisively without waiting for approval reinforces self-reliance, competence, and influence. Risk-taking, when informed and strategic, becomes a catalyst for achievement in the absence of external support. Cultivating patience and long-term thinking is essential. Results are rarely immediate, especially when operating independently. Winning without support requires understanding that progress is incremental. Setbacks are inevitable, and perception takes time to shift. By maintaining focus on long-term goals, demonstrating consistency, and resisting the temptation to seek short-term validation, you build momentum and credibility. Patience allows you to act strategically rather than reactively, preserving energy and reinforcing authority even in challenging circumstances. Documenting progress and reflecting on growth is a final practical step. Regular reflection allows you to identify patterns, assess strategies, and adjust approaches as necessary. Journaling, performance reviews, or self-assessment exercises help track achievements, reinforce learning, and maintain motivation. Reflection ensures that decisions are informed by experience, not impulse, and that independence is continually strengthened. By actively monitoring your journey, you convert experiences, successes, and failures alike into actionable insight, further reinforcing competence, resilience, and strategic thinking. Ultimately, winning without support is the product of combining all these practical strategies into a coherent system of self-reliance and deliberate action. Daily discipline, clear priorities, emotional resilience, skill mastery, strategic networking, effective communication, health maintenance, calculated risk-taking, patience, and reflection form a comprehensive framework for achieving success independently. Each component reinforces the others. Discipline strengthens emotional resilience, competence enhances influence, and strategic communication amplifies the impact of skill and knowledge. When applied consistently, these practices transform isolation and doubt into fuel for progress, enabling individuals to achieve goals, command respect, and exert influence without depending on external support. In conclusion, success in the absence of support is not a matter of luck, charisma, or chance. It is a deliberate, disciplined process that combines psychological insight, practical habits, and strategic action. Those who embrace independence, leverage solitude, and apply these principles consistently develop the resilience, competence, and authority needed to thrive in any environment. Winning without support is not about rejecting others entirely. It is about creating a foundation of self-reliance, strategic thinking, and personal mastery that ensures progress regardless of external circumstances. By implementing these practical steps, individuals convert challenges into opportunities, isolation into empowerment, and skepticism into motivation, ultimately achieving the influence, respect, and success that defines those who operate independently yet effectively in the real world.